And we're live. Roll up, everybody. Gather, come and join. One man way to know your friendly neighborhood or your laughing man. You know when we do it, you know why we do it, and you know what we are doing. So gather, come, let's do it together. You should be here by now. I am here. Where are you? One man went to mow your friendly neighborhood or your laughing man. The eagle has landed.
Only water. Water. Only water. Where they see ma. Water. 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 Only water. Where they see ma. Hapa o naido. Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Ilé sọ́dí àkẹ́kẹ́rẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Bọ́bí màsà kẹ̀kẹ́rẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Chifu Fáìlà tí kẹ̀kẹ́rẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù dòde ojàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́ọ̀dù o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Trọ́sọ́nàmẹ̀ ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Ṣódùkẹ́ ẹ̀yẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbéṣe o.
And there we are. Iku Koniriwa Gbeche. So there we are, and here we are. So straight into matters, and let's just go straight into it. Nigerian army reacts to release of over 1,000 ex-Boko Haram fighters. So that are capture and release, that is the practice, the fight against terrorism within Nigeria. That continues to persist. It is very painful when people say I got oil well because I made blouses for Mrs. Babangida. So this is the billionaire businesswoman Folorunsho Alakija. She is now speaking to that now well-worn narrative of how she came about her wealth. Buhari's side chick, Mrs. Babangida's rather side chick, Mrs. Babangida's Taylor, etc. Those are the narratives that seems to underpin, at least the popular narrative that seems to underpin the lady's wealth. So she comes to speak to that space. In a previous incarnation, we did a narrative on the Nigerian Navy having a supplementary list of recruitments, essentially new recruits, and all of them, of course, from the north. So 44 recruits as a supplement to the recruitment that they had done previously. But what I'm saying essentially is that the Nigerian Navy, in a previous incarnation and a previous story that we did, they came out with this supplementary list of recruitments of newly recruited people into the Navy, and all of them were from the north. So a reaction to that story, as GBAJABIAMILA takes a position, reps to investigate Nigerian Navy supplementary recruitment. So that recruitment that I'm struggling to get out of my lips, the recruitment by the Navy, which is a northern bias, is now being investigated by GBAJABIAMILA. So as I take a sip of water and compose myself to present in a proper lucid fashion, to the east we go first, and to Atilogu. So to the Atilogus.
ana m anụ ka ị na-aka ogbu ọja
So let no one accuse me of ethnic bias, the Igbos and their Ikpokitipo ways. So to the Ikpokitipo one more time.
ọnya
So we come in via the Igbo flute to land at the Nigerian army. Nigerian army reacts to release of over 1,000 ex-Boko Haram fighters. So this capture and release policy now, let's see how it's been explained. The Nigerian army has confirmed that it released 1,009 persons who were implicated in the Boko Haram insurgency war, but denied that they were ex-fighters of the sect. The army authorities, who did not give the extent of involvement of the released persons in the insurgency, added that the exercise was part of ongoing counter-terrorism, counter-insurgency operation in the Northeast. So part of the counter-terrorism, counter-insurgency operation in the Northeast is to capture or apprehend these deadly people that have been savaging and brutalizing that space, to capture them, having spent thousands and billions of Nigerian dollars to capture these people. And then as soon as they are captured, you promptly release them. 1,009 of them we're talking about. So of course now they've given them a good telling off and they've bound them to good behavior. I guess these people that would have killed well in excess of 10, 20,000 people have now been released back into the wild. We take it from the very top again. The Nigerian army has confirmed that it released 1,009 persons who were implicated in the Boko Haram insurgency war, but denied that they were ex-fighters of the sect. The army authorities, who did not give the extent of involvement of the released persons in the insurgency, added that the exercise was part of the ongoing counter-terrorism, counter-insurgency operations in the Northeast. The Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, stated this on Thursday whilst reacting to the release of 1,009 former fighters, as reported by correspondents recently. Nwachukwu said, pardon me, Nwachukwu said, it is an indisputable fact that the ongoing counter-terrorism, counter-insurgency operation in the Northeast has led to the arrest of several terrorism and insurgency suspects. These suspects have been held in custody whilst ongoing profiling and further investigation by experts from the Joint Investigation Center JIC, and those who are found culpable are usually handed over to the prosecuting agencies accordingly, whilst those who are not implicated in terrorism and insurgency are cleared and released to the state government for rehabilitation before they are reintegrated into society. These cleared suspects are therefore not ex-Boko Haram fighters, as peddled in the report. A total of 1,009 cleared suspects, not ex-fighters, were therefore released after this rigorous process on Wednesday. It is also necessary to categorically state that the handing over of the cleared suspects was not shrouded in secrecy, as was witnessed by the United Nations humanitarian and other government agencies in tandem with global best practice. So apparently, allegedly, the Boko Haram suspects are now no longer Boko Haram suspects. So if they were taken as innocent people, why are they not just released with an apology and compensation? Why are they instead handed over to their state governors for rehabilitation? So what are they being rehabilitated from if they were not in the first instance radicalized, and if they were radicalized, to what extent, or is that radicalization? So he says it's not shrouded in mystery, but it is indeed as clear as mud. What is still needing clearing up, though, is how Folorunsho Alakija came about her wealth. I keep wanting to call her Florence, but Folorunsho, indeed her name is Folorunsho Alakija. It is very painful when people say I got my oil well because I made blouses for Mrs. Buhari, billionaire businesswoman Folorunsho Alakija. So this is a rather long-winded one, but I'll try and plow through as much of it as I can. Billionaire oil magnate Folorunsho Alakija says it is very painful when people attribute her acquisition of an oil block to the fact that she made blouses for the former First Lady, late Mrs. Miriam Babangida. In an interview on Arise Television to celebrate her 70th birthday today, July the 15th, Alakija, who has been described as one of the wealthiest black women on the planet, said the only thing Mrs. Babangida did for her at the time was to facilitate her meeting with the petroleum minister at the time. Thereafter, she, Alakija, put in all the work. Going down memory lane to how she acquired the oil block, Mrs. Alakija said she met a family friend of hers on a plane, and whilst discussing, the friend informed her that she would be needing her help when they returned to Nigeria. She said the friend had told her that she had already reached out to some persons for the same assistance, but that they do not come forth. She would contact, but that if they do not come forth, she will contact Alakija. We got back to Nigeria and she came knocking at my door, gave me some documents. She had some clients that were looking to lift crude oil from Nigeria, and she wondered whether I might be able to speak to some of my clients, one of whom was the late Mrs. Babangida. I said, okay, I will go and see her and see how she can help. I got there and she, Mrs. Babangida, said, okay, I can book an appointment for you to see the petroleum minister. I went to see the petroleum minister. What they, my family friend, wanted was to lift crude oil, and the petroleum minister said, listen, the current administration at the time really wanted to move away from that and prefer Nigerians to be more involved in that rather than giving it out to foreigners. Mrs. Alakija said the minister at the time told her that if people that Mrs. Alakija said the minister at the time told her that if the people she came on their behalf wanted to invest in the sector, they were free to do so. She said she went back to her friend with the minister's position, and her friend told her that they were not interested in investing in the sector. So we parted ways. I said to myself, now that I have an inroad to that place, why don't I find something I can do? All I wanted was a contract to boost my pocket. I still wanted to carry on doing my fashion. I love it. So I went back. I asked Mrs. Buhari to help me book another appointment, and I went to see the minister, and I told him that I was interested in finding something to do with the NNPC. I was given all sorts of different options: catering for offshore, transporting crude from one location to another, stuff like that. So I would sit down, write my letter, and take it there. Sometimes I had to wait 6 months to get the appointment, sometimes 4 months. I would go back and he would punch holes in what I had come to offer, and I will go back dejected, and I will go and do some more homework, and then I will get Mrs. Buhari to book another appointment. She said that went on for a while and they were all no's. I came back home and I cried my eyes out. My husband comforted me and I called Mrs. Babangida and said, "This is what I came back with." And she said, well, all she knows is that that kind of thing takes years, and we left it at that, and I carried on licking my wounds. Mrs. Alakija said one day she woke up and said she was no longer going to accept the no she has so far gotten. I decided I was going to go back. So I called Mrs. Babangida and said, please, I would like that you book me one more appointment. And she did. She was kind, but that was all that she did concerning the license matter. She kept on getting me those appointments, and the rest was what God wanted to do. So I went back and I said to the minister that I really wanted to apply for this. He said, okay, you go and do your homework, because it is Nigerians that the government of the day wants to encourage now. We have had a lot of multinationals over the years. We want to encourage Nigerians. We want our resources and our wealth in our own land, rather than have it carted away by foreigners all the time. I applied for the license 3 times and it took 3 years. The ministers changed hands twice, and it was during the time of the last one that I eventually got it. The oil magnate said she was one of the first women to get the license. I think I was one of the first women to get the license, and it is very painful when you listen to what people say, that, oh, it is because she made blouses for Mrs. Babangida. Oh, it is because she was one of them. How about all the others that got all the licenses and who were not in the oil industry at the time they got the license? So because they are men, they have 2 heads. Is it fair on womanhood? Why relegate us to the background? So is it fair? Is it fair on womanhood? Why relegate us to the background? Why say we can't when we can? When all the prerequisites could be ticked. I made all of them available. I had technical partners. I went here and there. I supplied everything. I did my homework. I learned on the job. I went for courses as well to build myself up to be able to sit in the boardroom and face others. Mrs. Alakija said when she got the oil block, she discovered no one wanted to work with her as it was too expensive to explore. She said it took 3 years to get technical partners to work with her to explore the oil. So that is the narrative of Mrs. Alakija. She's saying that she did not get the oil blocks from being a blouse maker to Mrs. Babangida, but then of course the entirety of that narrative just lends itself in its totality to being a blouse maker to Mrs. Babangida. So she protests, but that protestation, of course, an affirmation of what the rumors are. Let me just put the hyperlink up again. Click here to come join live on screen. So I'll put the hyperlink up for anyone that wants to come join, and I'll bring you the last narrative. So let me just put the hyperlink up. So that's the hyperlink. So I'll bring you the last narrative, and of course, if there's nobody wanting to chime in, we'll leave it there. So now it is to that nepotism, cronyism, ethnicism, or whatever ism that is applying in the Nigerian Navy. Reps to investigate Nigerian Navy supplementary recruitment. So a story we have tackled before. So this is a follow-on from that first incarnation of this narrative on this channel. The House of Representatives has resolved to investigate the supplementary recruitment of 44 candidates by the Nigerian Navy for allegedly violating the principle of federal character. The resolution followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance by Representative Ben Igbapa, PDP Delta, at the plenary on Wednesday in Abuja. Moving the motion, Igbapa noted that all the successful candidates called let me take that entirely all over again. The House of Representatives has resolved to investigate the supplementary recruitment of 44 candidates by the Nigerian Navy for allegedly violating the principle of federal character. The resolution followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance by Representative Ben Igbapa, PDP Delta, at the plenary on Wednesday in Abuja. Moving the motion, Igbapa noted that all the successful candidates called to report for training in the 2 batches at the Nigerian Navy Basic Training School in Rivers State were all from a particular section of the country. This, according to him, negates the federal character principle of inclusivity, equity, and fair play. He said that the Constitution provided that all appointments must reflect federal character, adding that there was need to ensure equal representation of the various ethnic extractions in the country. Ikpagba said that the principle was also aimed at preventing domination by some ethnic groups in the affairs of the country to the exclusion of others. The principle appears to have been observed more in breach, he said, adding that appointments and recruitment into federal agencies at the federal and state level must be equitably spread. According to him, adequate observance and implementation of the federal character principle would allay the fears of the domination and denial by ethnic minorities and invariably foster national unity. The House, therefore, directed the Nigerian Navy to immediately suspend the upcoming pre-screening exercise for the shortlisted candidates with a view to strengthening the federal character law and ensuring better and more vigorous enforcement. Every Nigerian deserves to be every Nigerian deserves to be treated with dignity and on their rights, irrespective of where they might be located physically in the country. The House added it directed that it should be furnished with the details of all recruitments from 2014 to date, showing the geographical spread. The House also mandated its Committee on the Navy to investigate the exercise and recommend appropriate measures to be taken against similar constitutional violations in all government recruitment and report back within 12 weeks for further legislative action. So Femi Gbajabiamila essentially slaps down on that illegal recruitment that the Navy are up to. So all of that, Ego, good to see you. Ego, what's up? We missed you yesterday, but here you are today. Just to the storylines, the Nigerian army captures and releases 1,009 Boko Harams, telling us now that they are no longer radicalized, but ignoring, of course, the savagery that they would have vested on the people of the Northeast.
Cool. Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Yes. So the Nigerian army, on they released 1,009 Boko Haram, but they are now telling us they are no longer radicalized. Folarunsho Alakija, she is giving us the back details of her wealth, trying to counter the narrative that
I'm here. I can hear.
Yes. No.
you very
Igbo, I
well.
don't know if you hear me. You're always out of the loop in these conversations. Okay, just speak to the space. Let me just give you this. Let's hear from you. Ego. When you listen to these things back, you'll see where the struggle always is, There's always like a buffer silence between communications and then it's out of sequence. Okay, I think it's a networking thing because I was struggling to get Ego, but
Oh
let's go
shit!
to.
Hello. It's good.
Are you with us, Ego? Oh, okay. Sorry. I think we are going to have to bail on that. To you, Ajanle Koko. Hopefully, a better connection. Ajanle Koko, to you.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, yeah. How you doing, bro? So to the narrative. The Nigerian army catch and release 1,000 Boko Haram in 1,009 even now released back into the world to the custody of that state government to reintegrate into society. They are telling us that they are not combatant militants. So if they were innocentees, why are they being released to the state? And if they need to be de-radicalized, then how were they? So just the incoherent storyline that we usually get from the Nigerian army, but really the problem, this catch and release that they're doing with Boko Haram. Folorunso Alakija, she tells the story of her wealth, trying to debunk the narrative that she made fortune of being a blouse dressmaker for Mrs. Babangida, but then the narration that she presented was entirely that she did make a fortune off the back of that. And that story that we did just like about a couple of days ago, the Nigerian Navy recruiting 44 people all entirely from the north, Femi GBAJABIAMILA moves quickly to put a stop to that. So to all of that, Ajanle Koko.
Well, on the recruitment of rehabilitated Boko Haram member into Nigerian army, the question I want to ask is, why are they interested in recruiting those people into Nigerian army? People that are radicalized, people that are, confirmed terrorists. Why them? Why not, let them go? Why not look for recruitment among the public, dedicated people that are ready to serve their country? Why not look for young guys that are dedicated, that are outside, that are jobless, that have, applied to join Nigeria? Why not look at those lists of people that have applied and get them into Nigerian army? Other than these people, terrorists will always be terrorists and forever be terrorists. So I don't understand why Nigerian army is recruiting terrorists. So it's just
It's even the catch and release. We go to all this expense to try and end this thing, to capture these people. We would prefer that they even do away with them before apprehending them. But if you've apprehended them, now they have to fit through the legal system. But we go through this great expense. You say you have captured these people, you have arrested them, and then in the next breath, within a week or two, you release them back into the wild. I mean, what is going on? Catch and release Boko Haram.
I don't know what is going on in that country with the military. The military already infiltrated by terrorists, and that is why they are not succeeding in the war front.
Are they even looking to succeed in the war front from what we're hearing? I mean, 1,000 Boko Harams put back into the wild,
Yeah. So recruitment of them, I have never seen any military in the world that recruit terrorists into their fold. I've never seen it, only in Nigeria, and that is why we are not getting result, in the war against terrorism in that country, because Nigerian army is already infiltrated by terrorists. and there's no way they can achieve results. And secondly, Nigerian army, Nigerian military, they are not well equipped. So the terrorists on the field are larger in number by population than the population of Nigerian army itself. They are larger in number.
What they are saying is that gun for gun, these people, they have gunned the Nigerian military, because the Nigerian forces, the rough estimate is between 300 to 340,000, and they are saying that the guns that is in the Sahels, the illegally held weaponry in the Sahel region, is well in excess of 3 billion. All of those guns from Gaddafi is now entirely in that region, in the hands of the Tuaregs, in the hands of the Fulanis, in the hands of the bandits.
Yeah. So the terrorists, you talk of Boko Haram, you talk of ISWAP, they are in so many groups, and putting all their figures together, they are more than Nigerian army in population. There's no way Nigerian army can defeat these people. Nigerian military cannot defeat them when Nigerian military is lesser in population than those people. So, and we have young, able guys outside. We have young, able Nigerian guys that are ready to defend their nation. What they need is the right equipment and, the good pay, right equipment, and, everything to motivate them. They will go out there into the bush and confront these people and bring them down. The nation have the money, but they don't want to do the right thing. And that is why everything is collapsing. So I don't see why there should be terrorists. They say terrorists are never rehabilitated, no matter how. They still have the terrorist tendency in them. It's still in them. It's still in
just don't understand
it's an ideology. It's an ideology. It's like a religion to them. You cannot take it away from them. So what Nigerian state is doing, recruiting terrorists, is not going to help Nigerian military. They are not going to achieve anything. They are just they will just be,
They did not recruit them, by the way, Adanle Koko. They released them.
Yeah, they released them, and some are recruited, isn't it? They said they got some that are rehabilitated and, recruited into the military, isn't it? Some have been
even that release is a crime against humanity itself.
It's a crime. They go back.
Yeah,
they go back to their profession, to their regular profession. Because their regular profession is, to kill. And it's more prosperous. They make more money there. They kidnap people. They hold people to ransom. They kidnap. They make more money.
Just to what you're saying, there's something that El Rufai said not that long ago. He was saying that all these headsmen that have become kidnappers and bandits now, you can forget about rehabilitating them, because, of course, the headsman, he spends a year and two just rolling malus around. Maybe he will sell one for like 100K in that year, and he'll make 100K in 1 year. But then he will go and kidnap somebody and make 10 million. So you are never going to get that gun off him, because he has discovered an economy that supersedes his previous. When you are making 100K and you can make 10 million, you don't have to be going into the bushes and sleeping with Malu. So this is the thing. You release these people, you say you've de-radicalized them when they are already used to blood. They have a bloodlust and whatnot.
Look, the governor of Zamfara State, you know that he has negotiated with terrorists several times, to get their captors, released. He said that in his own state alone, they have over 30,000 bandits. We are not talking of the terrorists that are in the state and other, but just bandits. The guy said they have 30,000 confirmed, according to him. So, bandit, terrorists, by my own definition, they are all the same because they carry arms and they kill people. They are all the same. They can give them any name you like. The media in Nigeria give them bandit just to make them look nice. But they are terrorists because they go into people's villages, disperse them, kill them, take their property, take everything they have, or hold them to ransom, saying, "Okay, we are taking over the administration of your society, of your community. So you have to be paying tax to us. If you don't want us to kill you, pay us tax. We will let you do your farming or whatever you want to do within your space. We'll let you do it, but you have to be paying us so amount." So this kind of criminality, Nigerian army.
Just on what you were saying there, Ajanle Koko, there was a story that I wanted to bring, but I decided not to, just because not to have too many stories. You were saying that they are terrorists, but people call them bandits. The Nigerian Broadcasting Commission has sent out a circular today, a policy position to all of the news outlets, radio and television, that they should stop announcing the names of victims of terror attacks, Fulani headsmen, and they should stop covering that story. That's the latest development, and I might well go into that story later in the evening. But that is now the directive from the Nigerian Broadcasting Association. So they're asking the media now to cover up the banditry, essentially, of the headsmen, etc. So that's what's going on.
No, I didn't hear what you said. What did you say? Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation said.
The Nigerian Broadcasting Commission, I'm just looking for the story as we are speaking. The Nigerian Broadcasting Commission has put out a circular to the television radio companies not to announce the names of the victims of terror or to narrate terror stories online anymore. So they're essentially asking them not to report on Fulani headsmen and banditry anymore.
You see, this administration, they're trying to gag the media completely in Nigeria. They want to stop them from reporting what is the havoc that these bandits and these criminal terrorists or herdsmen are doing against our people. So this administration is an havoc to that country. So the story about terrorist activity should not be reported anymore in nation, so that it would look like everything is normal. There's no more terrorism in the country.
Okay, Ajanle Koko, I found the story. NBC orders TV radio stations not to name victims, report details of terror attacks. So that is the headline. The National Broadcasting Commission has ordered television and radio stations in Nigeria not to divulge details of the activities of bandits, terrorists, and kidnappers in their reports. The regulator specifically directed radio and television stations not to glamorize the nefarious activities of insurgents during their daily news reviews. As an unwritten custom, broadcast stations in Nigeria review newspaper headlines daily before their breakfast show. But the NBC, in a letter dated July the 7th, 2021, issued to television and radio stations, stressed the need for caution by broadcasters whilst reporting security challenges in the country. So essentially, cover up the atrocities of the Fulani headsmen. This is the directive of the Nigerian Broadcasting Association to radio and television stations. So this is it. Carry on killing, but nobody must talk about it.
That's a challenge to the press and the nation. So if the press is the mouthpiece of the people, and they should speak up all the time against the mismanagement of the country by any administration. That is their sole responsibility. The mouthpiece of the people is to be able to speak and report the fact, everything that they see that is going wrong in the country should be reported, so that the administration by itself can wake up and stand up to the whatever wrong thing that is happening in the country. They should be able to stand up and do something about it. So what they are saying now is that nobody should speak. Just leave the situation alone. We are fine with it. And the killing of people at their farm.
So that story that we heard from Igongon, we will no longer hear.
We will no longer hear it.
When the next one happens. So these people will just be killing steady at will and seizing land at will, and nobody will hear about it.
So we are telling people that this administration is a terrorist administration, it's a criminal, it's an administration that, run everything in Nigeria with criminality and illegality, and it's not going to stop. I said it, they will continue. They're not going to stop acting this way. They're not going to stop. They will continue. But everything will come open to people in that nation, and people will rise up against them. It's just a matter of time. So it is coming open now to a lot of us, to the country, that this administration does not mean well. This administration have agenda, Fulanization, Islamization agenda, and to conquer by all means. So that is the agenda.
Talking about doing something about it, Femi GBAJABIAMILA attempts. You remember a couple of days ago we were talking about the recruitment in the Nigerian Navy, where 44 supplementary recruits were recruited into the service. All of them entirely from the north, and we were mocking that it doesn't even rain in the north. So how quite a naval recruitment will be solely focused on that space. So 44 supplementary recruits, all entirely from the core north. So Femi GBAJABIAMILA is now asking the Navy to come and present a report as to how these chimes with our federal character. So the House of Rep moves against that. What is your take?
That's a good step in the right direction. We want to commend him for rejecting that list, for telling them to go back to comply with the
federal character.
So that is good. But I would have loved him to have done the same too against the president when he's appointing the Fulani to hold the strategic position. I would have expected him to do the same too against the president, challenging that your nomination is too one-sided, But they look away on that and they let him go because they are in the pocket of their master.
To be fair to him, Ajale Koko, he's reaching as far as his reach can reach. This is what he's saying. The House also mandated its committee on the Navy to investigate the exercise and recommend appropriate measures to be taken against similar constitutional violation in all government recruitment and report back within 12 weeks for further legislative action. So they are using this Navy situation to have a catch-all policy position, and they have set up a committee to report within, what's that? That is that 4 months, to report within 4 months, or is that 3 months? Yeah, to report within 3 months so that they can take a legislative position to really double down and hammer down on that federal character. But then, of course, that will only be within his purview. I don't think it will impact on Buhari's recruitment, but certainly what he can influence, he's trying to influence.
Well, yeah, I still stand by saying that I will commend him. That is a good step in the right direction. I mean, they went further, like you just read to us now, to set up a committee, to further investigate into all other appointments into government services. That is very good. I mean, but I would have loved then to challenge the appointment made by the president into all the federal appointments made by the president, which have mostly the Hausa Fulani into the strategic, federal appointment. I would have loved if they have stand up and challenge the president that, oh, you are playing nepotism here. This is not in compliance to federal character. That will have give a lot of people in the country that confidence that they have the legislator representatives that are really fighting for them and that are really committed to to the growth of the nation. But they kept mute when Buhari was putting the Fulani people in most strategic position. But now talking about appointment, recruitment into services, they need to do better. But for what they have done now, we still have to commend them for, standing up, to do something a little bit.
Okay. And lastly and quickly on this Alakija woman coming to tell us that she did not make her fortune off the back of being a blouse maker to Mrs. Babangida. But then, of course, the totality of her rebuttal was essentially that she made her fortune off the back of being a blouse maker to Mrs. Babangida, because, of course, she was making Mrs. Babangida's blouse, and then she used that opportunity to leverage her position to get an insight into the petroleum industry and get herself an oil well. So blouse making to oil billionaire, that is essentially the Alakija story.
So what is she? I don't get the story. Where is she denying that she didn't make that money or that connection to oil business through Babangida or what?
No. This is the headline that she's using to cry out. She says it is very painful when people say that I got my oil well because I made blouses for Mrs. Babangida. This is what she said. But then she said that she met somebody on a plane who had a business proposal for her, which she then took to Mrs. Babangida, who she was a cloth maker too. Mrs. Babangida then facilitated a meeting with the petroleum minister. That deal fell through, but then she had already met the petroleum minister through Mrs. Babangida. So she kept on going to Mrs. Babangida to facilitate meetings with the petroleum minister, which Mrs. Babangida was duly obliging. So she will go with one proposal. The guy will say no. She will go back to Mrs. Babangida, who will facilitate another meeting. She will go. And then this was going round and round for about 7-8 times before she eventually landed on that oil well. So Mrs. Babangida was the conduit that was facilitating her to have access to the petroleum minister, which then, of course, led to her getting an oil well. And, of course, her relationship with Mrs. Babangida was essentially her tailor who was making blouses for her. And she is claiming that she did not make her fortune of making blouses for Mrs. Babangida.
Well, whether we like it or not, her success in business.
Is it the engineer that is making you laugh?
No.
Too much keys. Well, you see, you can't be doing all that partying lifestyle engineer. He's been clubbing all night. This is the thing. He will go clubbing every day. Have you been clubbing again, the engineer?
I really hope so.
You've been disco dancing. Have you been disco dancing?
There's still corona in England.
Yes, that's true. Lockdown.
So, what I can see there is that Babangida's wife contributed to her success So there is no story she can tell, and I see the hand of Babangida wife connection into helping her to achieve a greater success in life.
To be honest with you, I don't know why she's trying to be ashamed of that story. It's a better story than having some Harvard PhD in oil and gas that then landed oil something. So
Yeah,
that's
I
just
don't.
a boring story. But a more exciting story is a blouse maker who perchance then turned suddenly into an oil billionaire. So that's a better story.
I don't know what she's trying to
Yeah.
defend or what is trying to point at, but the fact remains that Babangida wife, you know, connected her to that business and she became a very successful woman. Maybe I think she's the richest black woman on earth.
That's the thing. So yeah, all
Yeah,
from
but
blouse making.
yeah, I would just,
Yeah.
I would have loved her to just keep her mouth shut and don't talk
If that
much.
was me, if that wasn't even the story, I would want that. I would continue to promote that story. It's just a more, it's a more catchy,
Yeah,
story. Yeah.
just say the truth. Babangida contributed. I mean, Babangida wife, she's the connection. She make everything happen for her. So she should, celebrate her and not
Yes.
just be denying what was she trying to achieve by all this nonsense she's talking about.
All right. Thank you, Ajanle Koko. Let me
All
bring
right.
engineer in properly because it looks as though he's been sleeping. So let me wake him up. Engineer.
Good afternoon.
So from the eastern quarters to engineer. So engineer to you. The Nigerian army catch and release policy for Boko Haram: 1,000 captured, 1,000 released. So of course the war against insurgency set to continue in perpetuity because of course those people are not going to give up terrorism. Folarunsho Alakija trying to debunk the romantic notion, the romantic storyline of her being a blouse maker to Mrs. Babangida, and that is the underpinning of her fortune. A more romantic story, of course, than any other narrative to that space, but then the story that she tells actually lends itself to that narrative. The Nigerian Navy 44% new, 44 rather new recruits, all from the core north. This doesn't chime with Femi GBAJABIAMILA, who has asked for a report with a view to putting an end to the nepotism. So to that, engineer.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Abi, good morning, Ajale Kuku.
Good morning, my brother engineer.
Yes,
Your
yes,
face
yes.
is looking shine, oh.
Thank you. It's
This
today.
capo where you put self, I said you say make you wear your babeti aja today. Na capo, that English
Don't
capo.
worry, I'm searching for it. I will surprise you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
To be honest, when you come to, let me start from Nigerian military. Oh ho hoy, there's nothing new since Nigerian military of those days that we used to have, which at least we can see a clear testify from Van Maxwell. You know, he came on air. He retired himself because of the atrocity in Nigerian army that is taking place. You see, to cut this story short, because I don't like beating around the bush. When you come to 2023, these are all the things that they are preparing for, because it's high time the Fulanis, they see that yes, everybody is awakening now. Nigeria is awakening. They thought they will penetrate through the Ibb'S because they know that Yoruba is no-go area for them. So, and they see now that the Ibb'S are now beginning to become very, very clever. I think the only thing left for the Ibb'S now is to just come out publicly and speak in one voice.
Because when it comes to the Yoruba part, come on, Fulani man can't tempt Yoruba man because Yoruba man knows how to deal with him straight away. So whether it's through air or through through court or through any other thing, Yoruba man is ready for Fulani man. But the good news for the Igbos is it's high time they should unite themselves and equip themselves because as a whole nation, you see Nigerian so-called army, releasing. Imagine those people they are releasing. Let's be honest to ourselves. Number one, they are not Nigerians. So are you releasing them to where? Huh? You are releasing them to give them the job into Nigerian army so they can carry on atrocity in uniform format, and it's very sad because things like this that is happening in Nigeria. To be honest, today if you go and speak to any 4 or 5 years old kid, they can testify that the country is completely a mess, and they can testify that the government of Nigeria for the past 6 years is just bollocks and it's waste of time. It's really sad that in a situation like this, Nigerian government from the military they come out and imagine the spokesman they use. They use evil man. You see how evil they are. They are very very evil. They use the evil man to come and give the speech. But as time goes on, I think it's a lesson they are teaching every Nigerians, and it's like a wake up call to everybody to say, guys, let's wake up. Let's teamwork. It's time. Let's speak in one voice and see how these people what they're gonna do. Because if you look at it, to be honest, some time ago that they were repentant Boko Haram. And what happened to them? Those people are they Nigerians? No. They end up recruiting them in Nigerian military, and that's it. Until today, now they say they release about 1,000 something. So where are they going? Huh? Well, their grandfather house is in Daura. So what do you expect? So there are things. I said this thing last night. They know what they're doing because when the heat will come on them, now the heat is on Igbo and Yorubas and Middle Belt. But when these three cultural people unite together and start hitting these people one by one, I keep saying it. The railway they build is escape route. People don't know. People don't understand that language. But time will come where you see it. When Nigeria start hitting them proper, they will depart from that country. Honestly, they will run away. But it's so sad that the level of how things are going on now that the country is just the way it is, and there's money. When you come to think about it, there's money in Nigeria that can sustain the country, that can make the country move forward. Every time they're taking loan. What are the loan for? Why? Where is the result? The result is not there, But they know what they're doing. But one day will be one day, 99 days for thief, one day for the owner. And also I'll speak on the Navy, the Navy recruitment that they keep employing the Northerners. There's nothing new in that. Let's be honest. Let's be honest to ourselves. Like I said, this is something that they know what they're doing. They are preparing for 2023 because they know that in 2023 there will be a disaster in that country. So they are doing anything possible to see how they can equip the Fulani men into Nigerian military. Then what next? Into the Navy as well. So in case of anything should start, then they'll end up creating the war for themselves. Because if they said there was once a time we'll have Biafra war, now it's I think the way things are going, there will be when it comes to reality, it's going to be a Fulani war. So and it's sad. It's really sad. It's high time people should realize and wake up because the country is completely messed. If government can spend the amount of money that they said they want to spend to tackle Facebook, WhatsApp, it's like we put you there. Who the hell are you to come out and be telling us? So there's money. That means there's money in the country. So why are they hiding it? Why are they denying the money from people to use? It's sad. It's really sad because when it comes to reality like this, I always say this: our elite leaders, they need to start thinking very well, because when they end up messing them up, where are they going? They will come back to soil. They will come back home. You understand? So, and if you look at it, we know all our elites, most of them, 90 to 95%, their children, they live abroad. What is so sad that people who vote them in, they are messing them up and they are not helping the people out. But one thing they need to realize is when the Fulani will finish with them, where are they going to stay? Are they following the train rail to Niger, or are they going to Daura to go and stay there? So that's something they need to start thinking and making way forward.
Oh, okay. And to Mrs. Alakija claiming that Mrs. Babangida did not facilitate her wealth, but then going on to tell us exactly how Mrs. Babangida facilitated her wealth. So, man, no man, essentially the story of the Nigerian space.
We know if you can't beat them, you do what? You join them, innit? So that's just the truth. She knows where she made that money. Just like Ajale Koko said, through Ibb'S wife, she make things life easy for herself.
It's just that window that because we hear a lot of stories and speculations, but this woman is now telling us in an interview with her sitting down saying the words. So this is exactly what she's telling us. So that just opens that space. The richest black woman on the planet has described how she came about her wealth, and it is through association with the wife of the military head of state of Nigeria. She was a dressmaker to Mrs. Babangida, and then she used that opportunity to get connections in the oil ministry, and she has become the richest black woman on the planet. So that is her story. But she was just a dressmaker. I say was, but now, I'm not being disparaging. She's wealth now. But that was her position at the time. So what about the people that are higher up the pecking order from her? So if she, as Mrs. Babangida's tailor, is able to come out at the other end as the wealthiest black woman on the planet, then what about Mrs. Babangida's friends? Her friends would have done even better. What
Of
about
course.
So that just tells you what is going on in that space. It's just patronage, man no man, sweetheart deals, just sharing the national cake.
That is godmotherism, no more fatherism. It's godmotherism because you see, when it comes to things like this in Nigeria, they can't give you a job with what you study, what you come out as a merit in university. They can only give you a job because man no man. That's what is happening. And if you look at it, to be honest, it's worldwide. In the level of things that are happening in this generation we are living now, it's just, if you like, you study whatever you want to study, but it's without man no man, forget about it.
This is just the classic example of man no man.
Exactly.
So, like I said, forget all your PhD, Harvard, blah blah blah, jumping up and down and blowing grammar. Who do you know? Your network is your net worth.
Exactly, because I can give you an example of myself. During this corona crisis, my company shut down, and what happened? Because there was a company I worked in 2015, and all of a sudden I went out. I saw the boss. The boss is just passing around. I said, "Oh, hello, Keith. This is what happened. This is what happened." He said to me, "Ring me the next day." I rang him, man. He gave me a job. So that is it. It's man no man. Because if you said you want to go with your merit, 100% guarantee you're wasting your time, because the education now is like it's valueless. Nobody value it anymore. To be honest, it's just It's just to claim that you went to the university.
To be honest with you, if you're not a medical doctor, or maybe even casually an engineer, then really,
or lawyer, that's it.
Even a lawyer doesn't really matter that much, because you know, if you're not a medical doctor or an engineer, there's a very good, because most lawyers, they are administrators. They just get that legal degree and they come and become some administrator, customer services in bank, public relations there. So it's not, most lawyers don't go into the legal profession.
Exactly.
The two professions that usually use their learning to have a career is usually medicine, some sort of a medical field, or engineering. So everyone else is just potluck. Maybe 10% of them will work in the field. You go and do mass comm and you are driving bus.
That's just what happened with that lady, to be honest. She made her fortune. Okay, I give you another scenario with Abacha and his son. Versus our humble brother, Mr. Ibori. Ibori was once a sales guy in one of the UK supermarket. You understand, a cashier, because when Abacha son used to come to England to do some shopping, what happened? He met Ibori one-on-one, and Ibori was like, selling, cashing out all the goods he bought, and that's how the communication started. By the time Abacha's son started transferring money to Ibori's account, this is what happened. And when he passed away, but Ibb'S was very smart to make a move like that, and he went to the Abacha himself and returned some part of the money. So what happened from there? That's where Abacha looked at it. Whoa! So we have trustworthy people like this in Nigeria. That's how Ibb'S become who he is today. He's just man, no man. That's just the truth. So it's just God will surely help us all. And like I said, I always believe that when Corona is over, we can go to Ajale Koko place to relax or vey. Those are the people that can welcome us in America.
Because
there,
Ajale Koko, it looks as though he knows how to make a good barbecue. And
exactly.
Even where the palm wine is, I'm sure he knows where the palm wine is, even in America.
Plenty palm wine is here.
There you go.
You want to do palm wine, you want to barbecue, everything is available.
Don't worry. We are booking our ticket soon.
Since the day I mentioned we are visiting Baba Akure, he run away.
No, he may well have. I might well try and contact him. Actually, we've not seen him for a while. But then this is the thing: people, their lives, they live their life outside of what we do. So thank you, engineer. We'll reconvene in the evening. Hopefully, we'll see you. So get some rest. You look like you need a nap. So go have a nap, engineer.
Let me chip in one thing.
Yeah.
On that space of terrorists rehabilitated and released.
Yes.
I think this government regards Kanu as terrorists as well, right? I wish they could do the same to Kanu, rehabilitate him and let him go.
And release him to his governor. This is the thing.
They should do the same. They can't be doing that to the if those terrorists are Yorubas or Igbo, they won't let them go. They won't rehabilitate them. They want to jail them for life. You see what we're talking about in that country?
Or even give them death penalty.
Injustice. Or give them death penalty. Injustice. So, because they are Fulani, they are rehabilitated and they were let go. But Kanu will be tried and be slammed in jail. You understand what I'm saying? That is injustice of the highest order in that country. And where we see that kind of injustice, there's not going to be peace. So that is just what I just want to chip in,
All right. Thank you, Ajale Koko. So again, like engineer, hopefully we'll see you later on in the evening. So Ajale Koko, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Alexander chimes in. He says, he goes on to correct himself. The story of James Ibb'S is saying is Sainsbury's in Neasden, Northwest London. That is Ibb'S story. So that apparently is where he started off his career before forming that association with Abata's son, as our engineer has just narrated. So thank you for the super chat, Alexander. So Ovie, to you, you have the final word. Ovie.
To engineer who wants to come to America to visit me and Ajale Gogo, I actually have a requirement for that. You have to know how to speak Fufude before you are welcome to to my space. If you can't speak Fufude, you are not welcome.
Fufude is not known to America. In fact, Donald Trump will prevent you from coming through the border if you spoke anything that sounded like Fufude.
Oh, they will actually, want to give you a job, whether recruit you into their military and all that. They are like all sorts of intelligence.
Okay, rehabilitated Boko Haram. They are rehabilitating Boko Haram in America too.
I don't think you are wrong if you use that word. They do that. You know that one for sure. Not at the way we are doing it. I mean, we learn from these people. They do it, but for a purpose. When they release you, they give you assignment immediately. So they won't just catch you and release you just to, no.
All right, to that catch and release space, 1,000 Boko Haram released by the Nigerian army, Alakija protesting, but in a protestation confirming, and the 44 recruits now being probed by GBAJABIAMILA Ovie to those.
All the three stories are funny. I'm more, interested in Alakija. Why, if you can hear me, why, do you decide to present her in such a way that as if
your voice is not coming through.
I say that of Alakija. Can you hear me?
Carry on. That's slightly better. Yeah,
it's better now. Okay.
Yeah.
The Alakija. Why did you decide to present her in such a manner?
What sort of manner?
I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't, because you seem to be on a mission. Yeah, go on. Yeah, she's the richest black woman on the planet. Yes.
And in Africa, not on the planet, she's just $1 billion, richer. So
she's richer than Oprah.
No, she's not.
Okay,
she just worth $1 billion.
Okay.
Okay,
just a billion. It is just whatever such poverty abyss. Just $1 billion.
Some people have 200 billions in their bank. About 3 people close 100 billions already. So that's one of those.
Yes.
Why? So why do you choose to just decide to just present her in such a manner?
What a manner? What is your question?
If she's an Hausa man, I would understand. If she's a Hausa woman, I would understand. If she's an Igbo woman, I would understand. But this is a Yoruba woman.
What manner? What have I said that rubbed you the wrong way?
You know what I'm talking about.
Ovie, it sounds as though you are listening with prejudice. You are listening to hear what is not being said.
No, I am curious. You know what I'm saying. That's why
I don't. I'm
not
just smiling because I know that you have been on that trajectory for a couple of years. How to make some point.
I'm just trying to balance the conversation.
Okay.
I'm balancing the conversation. Yeah. I mean, you describe her. We just look at her as a woman, and she will get help from.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
Okay. Am I? This is a very well-accomplished woman.
Yes.
Accomplished of every sense of the word.
Yes.
She is, responsible. Nigeria sense that we adore people who say give their life to Christ, their God, and all that. I mean, she's everything that she can say. Yeah, this is a role model for the Nigerian girl out there. But you just tell her, she's.
Okay. Let me say this. Ovie, this is what she said. She said it is very painful when people said I got my oil well because I made blouses for Mrs. Babangida. So she is saying that what underpins her story is not the connection with Mrs. Babangida, because her relationship with Mrs. Babangida was that she was a tailor. But then when she goes on to tell us her story, that story is essentially about Mrs. Babangida facilitating for her to meet the petroleum minister, which then, of course, led to her wealth. So the story that she told was exactly to confirm the story that she was trying to distance herself from.
No, that's not. I watched that interview actually yesterday.
Right. Okay. Yes.
No, that's how you choose to interpret what she's saying. But that's
Okay,
fine.
how are you
Now
interpreting it?
let's break it down here. She's you know, close to the Babangida.
Yes.
Now we are not. The story is not about that she's a side chick, a second wife, house help or whatever. She is a designer. Put it that way. No, she's a dressmaker. She is the same category with the likes of Fendi, whatever the best of a brand you can think of out there. She was actually projecting the Nigerian culture via the wife of the president. You fail to see all that. If one
how have I failed to see all that?
If one refrat come up make dress for either the queen or Boris' girlfriend or whatever, the way the media, I'll include you in this place because you live in London, the way you people will present that person that made that piece of rag, it will be out of this world. This is a woman who took her time and said, yes, I want to protect that Nigerian side that the world is. People like you when Ekpadre, you go say na uniform, na costume. This is a woman who dedicated her life in projecting that aspect of her Nigerian to the world, and it was well received. You just come here and disturb and say, now we are talking about her connection. Tell me
have you ever heard the phrase "rebel without a cause"? Rebel without a cause. You are a rebel, but you don't have a cause. You are not fighting against anything because I celebrate the woman and her achievement.
No. That's
So you are creating your own beef and fighting yourself, and then you are putting me inside the beef that you are creating just to make beef. Don't be. I'm not beefing the woman, so don't beef me.
No, it's not about beef. What I'm saying, go see as time goes on, somebody again you will choose to analyze somebody, and the words I will tell you say, come on. So that this is how you present this woman. No, she's larger than life.
No, this is just how I speak. I wasn't even mocking. This is just how I speak.
Okay, now we are talking about a connection. Nation one person for this life. We rose to that kind of stardom without help, without connection from anywhere.
But I already said it.
Ours is not even. Listen, what you should credit her for. If you listen to that interview very well, it took her 3 years. 3 years.
Yeah, I read it out. Yes.
3 years to even get the oil well papers. It's not even say at the end of that 3 years, what they gave her was what everybody rejected. Everybody that applied for such contract rejected because it will be something easy to do well and all that. She detailed it. Fine. After she not even decided to say, okay, yes, I will take it. She approached investors, even within the country, that said no to her.
Yes, that's all. No. It's fine. That's all fine. But what facilitated it was her being a blouse maker to Mrs. Babangida. That is the one thing. You remove that, you remove everything.
There you go again, a blouse maker. See, that's the problem. Okay. She is not a blouse maker. She's a fashion designer. However you, come on, really,
okay.
At the highest level. Now, she get this oil well deal. After all she went through before she could acquire.
Okay, hold on, Ovie. Look at this headline. These are her own words, not my own words. You can see it on your screen. It says, very painful when people say I got my oil well because
that's exactly what you are saying.
So what she is saying.
Painful.
No, but those are her words, and you are trying to infer as though I am impugning. I am not impugning.
No.
I am quoting her words.
Where is that statement coming from? From what? As in how she's putting it across? It's very painful when people just overlook every other and say, "Oh, now because you know this person." It is.
Is it not? Is it not?
That's why I said, listen to the interview. Listen to
no,
that interview.
It doesn't matter.
It matters.
No, the hard work that comes subsequently is commendable. I commend her, but the one thing, the only important aspect of that was her relationship with Mrs. Babangida. If you remove that relationship with Mrs. Babangida, she's never going to meet.
Relationship.
Yes, a business.
Listen, let's even say it's not a business relationship. Why is it so alarming that she chose that route? She took
No,
advantage.
it is not alarming. What are you? This is why I'm saying you are a rebel without a cause. You are not fighting any battle that anybody is fighting with you.
You are not commending her for making that stride. She could have just said, I don't even want. She because she's not even to that. She's a fashion designer, for God's sake, and she failed to find opportunity as they come that speak to something that she has no idea about.
But she did not find. No, she did not find the opportunity. The opportunity. Hold on.
Opportunity found her.
The opportunity happened upon her. Yes.
So no, but listen, remember, I think we argued something like that before, back a few days ago, and I said opportunity. One of this log that we are talking about is preparation meeting opportunity.
No, we all know that.
How did she get this information? Anybody could give access to this information, but her, why? So commend her however you want to, but she was able to make good deed of that opportunity. Not just in making money for herself, but she's creating thousands of employment in Nigerian space. She's doing so well. You just overlook all that. That's because you didn't even listen to the interview. She break it down. It's painful.
I don't have to listen.
Just say, now because they are no Babangida and I make me. No.
Hold on. Let me just hold on over here, please. Hold on. She says, Mrs. Alakija said she met a family friend of hers on a plane, and whilst discussing, the friend informed her that she would be needing her help when they returned to Nigeria. She said the friend had told her that she already reached out to some persons for the same assistance, but if they do not come forth, she will contact Alakija. We got back to Nigeria and she came knocking on my door, gave me some documents. She had some clients that were looking to lift crude oil from Nigeria, and she wondered whether I might be able to speak to some of my clients, one of whom was the late Mrs. Babangida. I said, okay, I would go and see her and see how she can help. So when I'm saying that, the opportunity happened upon her, it happened upon her. And hold on. And she was able to take advantage of it via her relationship with Mrs. Babangida, because she was just going to facilitate for a commission. And then, of course, she kept on taking progressing it to evolve into where she is now. But the underpinning is her relationship with Mrs. Babangida, and her relationship with Mrs. Babangida. You are saying you don't like the word blouse maker,
yes,
but that is what she said.
Business relationship. She's not just.
No, we did not say it's not a business relationship. We did not say. I did not say they are lovers. I did not say it's not a.
Her hard work took her there. Put her to. So why did you just jump all that and say, because yes, you have to know somebody to get something. In this one, anyway,
but what are you arguing against? What have I said that you're arguing against?
No.
Look at the way you are just winding yourself up for
I expect you to shine light on her achievements. Present
that. But is that not what I'm saying? No. She was trying to knock a. You said you listened to the interview? She was trying to
talk to people like you. I'm sorry to this direct. To people like you who see her as if, she couldn't have made the best of her life, because you know this person. Forgetting that.
I never said that, and I never suggested that.
I'm sorry, that's how your presentation come true.
That is how you. No. That is how you chose to interpret it. That's your interpretation.
Just the way you.
Based on your prejudice. Based on your prejudice, you are prejudiced. I'm starting to realize that you are prejudiced against me over here.
I'm not be Yoruba. Next one a Yoruba woman. You a Yoruba man. So
what has Yoruba? What has Yoruba got to do with it?
What do I stand to gain? What you say? I'm being prejudiced against who? What?
Against me.
Why?
You are listening to my commentary with prejudice. You are just. If I say good afternoon, you probably want to say, yes, that's good afternoon. The way you said it. Do you mean good or do you mean afternoon? Now, what you say? This is you one of those conspiracy theorists.
Other than the fact that I want to balance the conversation, I actually listened to her yesterday. I didn't even know you were going to talk about the topic today. Yesterday, that was early, around in the afternoon here. I was listening to the interview keenly. So I said, okay, let me even know what is all about this woman herself. And exactly, I respect her. I love my heart for her. She did very well. I mean, everybody's own opportunity. She meet.
I know
You must know person
no,
now. You
she,
must know somebody in life. But her whole knowing, her business relationship, it's her craft, her talent that took her
yeah,
to
but
that
who
height.
is disputing that? Nobody is disputing. How am I disputing it?
With your losing comment. No, man, come on.
No,
You know
but
what I'm saying?
I don't. Well, how am I
I don't
disputing
make
it?
I don't make billion for IBB side chick. Come on, just listen to that.
Yeah, but that is poetic license. Now
That
you
is
know
not,
how it
no,
goes. Eh?
exactly. But this is a woman. This is a character in the Nigerian space that worth celebrating. She's a role model.
Yes,
to
I
young
am
girls
celebrating.
out there. You
Of
are
course,
not.
she
Will
is.
you say, oh, I don't know where side chick come from? Now you are trying to.
Yeah, but
I understand.
that is just loose language for the
Understand.
purposes of you
compliment that loose language with your narrate your story when you are narrating this your story. You compliment that
And there was rumors that she was Buhari's side Babangida's side chick.
Now you are coming out. Go ahead, keep finish all
No,
your.
how do you mean? Were there no rumors that she was Babangida's side chick?
Woman will come from banking industry to become the fashion designer, get into the space that was totally dominated by men,
right?
Yes. In that industry.
Yes.
She stood her ground. She rose to the top.
We know. So what are you saying?
She not end up being a side chick to the owner of Chevron. She not end up being something for.
Yeah, but what point are you making? Yeah.
That is something worth celebrating.
Yeah, it is being celebrated. Is she not celebrated?
By the way, as I said, now Yoruba woman, you can choose to present her however you want.
No, does that make her less a human being? Why do you always go to ethnicity or always?
Now they always bring her here now. You don't. That's what I say.
But you are the one that harps on about it. You are the one that always goes to tribe and ethnicity. What has our Yorubaness got to do with this story?
No, that's what I'm surprised, and I think a lot of people are surprised. They say, why? Maybe she because it's a woman.
What has a woman? What has that got to do with anything?
The way you are presenting the story, she's worth
more
than that. This is a
when I say you don't get it, you always that seems to you don't like it, but you oftentimes don't get it.
No. This is a woman who break all glass ceiling to get to where she is.
And that is celebrated.
Not by sweating, not by what I mean by sweating, no be dance, she know the truth, she know the wrong. She it's not something that now just Natalia, even though because Natalia. In an industry that is totally dominated by men. At that time in the history of Nigeria, this woman able to stand her ground and rose to come on. She deserves better than that, please.
Better than what? She's celebrated nationally and here as well.
On 1 week and just celebrate her. 1 week straight, just give it to Alakija. 1 week.
Because she's
because that's what we want the young girls out there to emulate. Now they can't
of course.
strike.
I mean,
exactly.
Yes, she's an impressive woman. She's done great things. She's a role model.
For your show, she deserves 1 week.
On what basis?
Celebrate her exploit.
You've just come to make trouble.
No, celebrate her exploit. She deserves it. No business.
Okay.
Cooks, we go to celebrate every now and then.
All right. No, be you they celebrate cooks. If we talk about Dangote, you are up in arms. If we talk about Buhari, you are up in arms. If we talk about Alakija, you are up in arms. I don't know. I'll just.
But they're all success. How can I hate success?
Nobody hates success, but you can discuss it and discuss the route to that success, and you can be critical and you can be complimentary. So it's still a space to explore.
That is what I've always put across. How these men they get where they get and what is responsible for what they are doing. Not be waiting at the earliest and right say, they glorify them. These are men in power. If you
but
power, you by every means necessary.
You don't leave scope for people to be critical of these people.
Because let's use Buhari as an example. I don't criticize them even before they give a ticket. Because everything that he's doing, I am not surprised that he's taking us down. I am just amazed at ease that he's doing it while we watch. That's what I'm amazed about. So I don't really criticize and when they will criticize. So now when in the power, I am curious. I am watching. I am studying. I didn't learn.
All right.
That's what I'm. That's what I'm. And I know I can't learn by say, oh, you know, good is bad. That's obvious. But why is it bad? That's what I'm curious about. Why even get this enormous power in the first place?
All right.
So that next time I can be better if I make a better decision. So if I come here and say, oh yeah, if you say Buhari is bad, I'll say yeah, Buhari is bad. Then what did I learn? No, I'll tell you say no, Buhari no bad. Challenge me that Buhari is not bad, and I will challenge you that Buhari is bad. You know.
All right.
With that, everybody will come out there. If they call am 80%, which I'm fine with.
All right. Is that contrary opinion that makes for a conversation? Now, thank you, Ovie. I was going to shut down before you come in, so I'll shut down now. But Ovie, good to see you. Hopefully, we'll see you later if your schedule permits. Ovie, ladies and gentlemen, the superstar of the session. So let's leave it now with the Atilogos. So Ovie is trying to color me tribal. Let me uncolor myself tribal. So to the Igbos, to the Ikpokitiko behavior and that their ways. So to the Igbo ways.